I'm live apparently. Welcome back, everybody. I haven't been doing this for a long time. Kind of nervous, actually. Haven't been in front of a camera in so long that I don't know what to do. So we're back at it. I probably won't go for a long time today. I just wanted to get back into the habit of reading. It's been like 2 months since the last time. Oh, I always look like a ghost. There we go. Yeah, so if you haven't been here before in one of my live streams, I've just been reading through the Bible all the way through, which I haven't done before. So the live stream aspect of it's to help me be accountable to make sure I actually finish this goal, because I'm one of those people who never finishes anything. So we'll see if I actually do. Now we're in chapter 21 of 2 Kings, and we'll see how many names I butcher this time. Manasseh turns Judah to idolatry, even sacrificing a son to a heathen god. Prophets foretell the destruction of Judah and Jerusalem. Wickedness continues under Ammon. No! Oh, I was actually thinking about you. When I started up again. Oh, it's been... No, I very rarely fit. Okay. Stop. What book? I've never finished a book. I mean, that's the hope. In fact, I'm actually oh gosh. You're haunting me with my past. I know in Come Follow Me, currently I think we're in Isaiah right now. Yep. So that's been fun trying to understand him. So I was actually ahead of the game for a long time on the live streams. You're making this impossible. And I know it's been a while, but congratulations on your wedding. Sorry. This whole live stream's a mess. I feel like dead on the inside. There's sirens outside. People are screaming at each other. Heart. So, yeah, I'm actually in a different unit. Same complex, different unit, but, yeah. It's been rough readjusting to Chicago. I was really enjoying being in Maryland again, and not having to worry about my future for a while. And now I'm back, and the existential crisis is coming back, so that's fun. Yeah. Oh, goodness. Yeah, I can do it. We can finish this Bible. And thank you. I can't believe I finished that book drive. There were so many things I wanted to do this summer, and I pretty much all I accomplished was the drive and going to work. And then let's see. So currently so the Bible, King James Version, at least this version that I have, is 1590 pages. And currently around 540, so I'm going to have to read quite a bit if I want to finish by the end of this year. But we'll see what happens. My classes that I should be working on right now, may not make that a possibility. I was reading all about Aristotle and different. I can never talk on the top of my head. This is why I usually make videos that I've written scripts for, because I can't talk. Yeah, that was another thing I was hoping the live streams would help me do. It's become a better public speaker. And now I'm just like, I just want to chat with you. I don't want to read this Bible. And I don't want to read my homework either. So far, I've been waiting for the chapter for school to tell me how to do my first assignment. And so far, it hasn't done any of that. So that's why I kind of wanted to get. Yeah. Well, I mean, it wasn't really Aristotle. It was more just saying his ideas on drama. The particular book I was reading is called. What even is it called? Gotta look that up. Oh, screenwriting something. I know that's helpful. Screenwrite. Where the flip is the title? I don't know. I just found a PDF version because I didn't really want to spend $200. So, you know. Actually, I don't know how much it is, but it's probably money I can't afford at the moment. But anyway, the book's just about the sequencing process in a screenplay. It's one method of writing, so that's what we're learning in this class. I'm supposed to write an entire feature-length screenplay by the end of the quarter. So that's 10 weeks to get a whole movie written. It's like, oh, no pressure. Luckily, it's just a class. I doubt they'll have as high standards for it, hopefully. Yeah, combined with all my other classes, we'll see if I can keep up. Along with all my personal projects I was hoping to get done. The YouTube wormhole, there's so many different videos I wanted to work on, and I'm a very lazy person, so we'll see what happens. So thank you. I won't say your real name unless I did on accident. Piano Girl 08, but thank you. We can do it. Oh, all I care about is finishing school and just being done with school. I am so tired of being in school. So many setbacks. But let this be a lesson to everyone. Even if you have setbacks, it doesn't mean you're worth any less than normal people who finish school on time. Every person has their own journey, and there's my TED Talk for the day. Does that count? Yeah, but at least you're in grad school. What I'm still working on my bachelor's. Age 25, I've been in college since 2016. It's been 6 years. And I have one more year to finish getting a bachelor. So, lots of setbacks, but you know what? As long as you keep treading on forward, that's all that matters. So I'm going to get right into it, and I'm probably not going to read much because, as I said, I'm supposed to be reading my homework, but I wanted to, I don't know, I was just getting that itchy feeling of like, I want to get started on this again. Plus, scriptures are more important, aren't they? So, hierarchy, right? I do the scriptures first and then homework, even though I had all day. Priorities, exactly. Exactly. I almost want to just end this live stream so I can give you a phone call. Yeah. That's exactly what I was thinking. Yeah, it's been a long time. But I'll get right into the scriptures, and thanks for stopping by. I can't believe you clicked on this, because I don't know how to do a live stream that's engaging and entertaining and fun and interesting. That's something we're working on too, I guess. So, ciao, auf Wiedersehen. I feel honored. I'm so awkward right now. I'm sorry. Auf Wiedersehen. It's close enough. Spelling's close enough. But yeah, thanks for stopping by, and good luck on your grad school. You can do it. You're amazing. You're beautiful, and I believe in you. So I'm just gonna get on reading, and you're welcome to disappear. So yeah, I'm in chapter 21 of 2 Kings. Manasseh turns Judah to idolatry, even sacrificing a son to a heathen god. Prophets foretell the destruction of Judah and Jerusalem. Wickedness continues under Ammon. Manasseh was 12 years old when he began to reign, and reigned 55 years in Jerusalem. And his mother's name was Hephzibah. And he did that which was evil in the sight of the Lord, after the abominations of the heathen, whom the Lord cast out before the children of Israel. For he built up again the high places which Hezekiah his father had destroyed. He reared up altars for Baal, and made a grove, as did Ahab king of Israel, and worshipped all the host of heaven, and served them. And he built altars in the house of the Lord, of which the Lord said, In Jerusalem will I put my name. And he built altars for all the host of heaven in the 2 courts of the house of the Lord. And he made his son pass through the fire, and observed times, and used enchantments, and dealt with familiar spirits and wizards. He wrought much wickedness in the sight of the Lord, to provoke him to anger. And he set a graven image of the grove that he had made in the house, of which the Lord said to David and to Solomon his son, In this house and in Jerusalem, which I have chosen out of all the tribes of Israel, will I put my name forever. Neither will I make the feet of Israel move any more out of the land which I gave their fathers, only if they will observe to do according to all that I have commanded them, and according to all the law that my servant Moses commanded them. But they hearkened not, and Manasseh seduced them to do more evil than did the nations whom the Lord destroyed before the children of Israel. And the Lord spake by his servants the prophets, saying, Because Manasseh king of Judah hath done these abominations, and hath done wickedly above all that the Amorites did, which were before him, and hath made Judah also to sin with his idols. Therefore thus saith the Lord God of Israel, Behold, I am bringing such evil upon Jerusalem and Judah, that whosoever heareth of it, both his ears shall tingle. And I will stretch over Jerusalem the line of Samaria, and the plummet of the house of Ahab, and I will wipe Jerusalem as a man wipeth a dish, wiping it and turning it upside down. And I will forsake the remnant of mine inheritance, and deliver them into the hand of their enemies. And they shall become a prey and a spoil to all their enemies, because they have done that which was evil in my sight, and have provoked me to anger since the day their fathers came forth out of Egypt, even unto this day. Moreover, Manasseh shed innocent blood very much, till he had filled Jerusalem from one end to another, beside his sin wherewith he made Judah to sin, in doing that which was evil in the sight of the Lord. Now the rest of the acts of Manasseh, and all that he did, and his sin that he sinned, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the kings of Judah? And Manasseh slept with his fathers, and was buried in the garden of his own house, in the garden of Uzzah, and Ammon his son reigned in his stead. Or is it Ammon? Ammon was 22 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 2 years in Jerusalem, and his mother's name was Meshullemeth. the daughter of Haruz of Jotbah. And he did that which was evil in the sight of the Lord, as his father Manasseh did. And he walked in all the way that his father walked in, and served the idols that his father served, and worshipped them. And he forsook the Lord God of his fathers, and walked not in the way of the Lord. And the servants of Ammon conspired against him, and slew the king in his own house. And the people of the land slew all them that had conspired against King Ammon, and the people of the land made Josiah the son king in his stead. Now the rest of the acts of Ammon, which he did, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the kings of Judah? And he was buried in his sepulchre in the garden of Uzzah, and Josiah his son reigned in his stead. Now we're in chapter 22 of 2 Kings. Josiah reigns in righteousness in Judah. Hilkiah repairs the temple and finds the book of the law. Josiah sorrows because of the wickedness of his fathers. Huldah prophesies wrath upon the people, but blessings upon Josiah. Josiah was 8 years old when he began to reign. He reigned 31 years in Jerusalem, and his mother's name was Jedidah, the daughter of Adaiah of Boskath. And he did that which was right in the sight of the Lord, and walked in all the way of David his father, and turned not aside to the right hand or to the left. And it came to pass in the 18th year of King Josiah, that the king sent Shaphan, the son of Azaliah, the son of Meshullam, the scribe, to the house of the Lord, saying, Go up to Hilkiah, the high priest, that he may sum the silver which is brought into the house of the Lord, which the keepers of the door have gathered of the people. And let them deliver it into the hand of the doers of the work, that have the oversight of the house of the Lord, and let them give it to the doers of the work which is in the house of the Lord, to repair the breaches of the house, unto carpenters and builders and masons, and to buy timber and hewn stone to repair the house. Howbeit there was no reckoning made with them of the money that was delivered into their hand, because they dealt faithfully. And Hilkiah the high priest said unto Shaphan the scribe, I have found the book of the law in the house of the Lord. And Hilkiah gave the book to Shaphan, and he read it. And Shaphan the scribe came to the king, and brought the king word again, and said, Thy servants have gathered the money that was found in the house, and have delivered it into the hand of them that do the work, that have the oversight of the house of the Lord. And Shaphan the scribe shewed the king, saying, Hilkiah the priest hath delivered me a book. And Shaphan read it before the king. And it came to pass, when the king had heard the words of the book of the law, that he rent his clothes. And the king commanded Hilkiah the priest, and Ahikam the son of Shaphan, and Achbor the son of Micaiah, and Shaphan the scribe, and Asahiah the servant of the king's, saying, Go ye, inquire of the Lord for me, and for the people, and for all Judah, concerning the words of this book that is found. For great is the wrath of the Lord that is kindled against us, because our fathers have not hearkened unto the words of this book, to do according unto all that which is written which is written concerning us. So Hilkiah the priest, and Ahikam, and Achbor, and Shaphan, and Asahiah went unto Huldah, the prophetess, the wife of Shallum, the son of Tikvah, the son of Harhas, keeper of the wardrobe. Now she dwelt in Jerusalem in the college, and they communed with her. And she said unto them, Thus saith the Lord God of Israel, Tell the man that sent you to me, Thus saith the Lord, Behold, I will bring evil upon this place, and upon the inhabitants thereof, even all the words of the book which the king of Judah hath read, because they have forsaken me, and have burned incense unto other gods, that they might provoke me to anger with all the works of their hands. Therefore my wrath shall be kindled against this place, and shall not be quenched. But to the king of Judah, which sent you to inquire of the Lord, thus shall ye say to him, Thus saith the Lord God of Israel, as touching the words which thou hast heard. Because thine heart was tender, and thou hast humbled thyself before the Lord, when thou heardest what I spake against this place, and against the inhabitants thereof, that they should become a desolation and a curse, hath rent thy clothes, and wept before me. I also have heard thee, saith the Lord. Behold, therefore, I will gather thee unto thy fathers, and thou shalt be gathered into thy grave in peace. And thine eyes shall not see all the evil which I shall bring upon this place. And they brought the king word again. Now we're in chapter 23 of 2 Kings. Josiah reads the book of the covenant to the people. They covenant to keep the commandments. Josiah overturns the worship of false gods, removes the sodomites, and puts down idolatry. Idolatrous priests are slain. Judah holds a solemn Passover. Egypt subjects the land of Judah. And the king sent, and they gathered unto him all the elders of Judah and of Jerusalem. And the king went up into the house of the Lord, and all the men of Judah, and all the inhabitants of Jerusalem with him, and the priests and the prophets, and all the people, both small and great. And he read in their ears all the words of the book of the covenant which was found in the house of the Lord. And the king stood by a pillar and made a covenant before the Lord to walk after the Lord and to keep his commandments and his testimonies and his statutes with all their heart and all their soul, to perform the words of this covenant that were written in this book. And all the people stood to the covenant. And the king commanded Hilkiah the high priest and the priests of the second order and the keepers of the door to bring forth out of the temple of the Lord all the vessels that were made for Baal, and for the grove, and for the host of heaven. He burned them without Jerusalem in the fields of Kidron, and carried the ashes of them unto Bethel. And he put down the idolatrous priests, whom the king of Judah had ordained to burn incense in the high places in the cities of Judah, and in the places round about Jerusalem, them also that burned incense unto Baal, to the sun, and to the moon, and to the planets, and to all the host of heaven. And he brought out of the grove from the house of the Lord without Jerusalem unto the brook Kidron, and burned it at the brook Kidron, and stamped it small to powder, and cast the powder thereof upon the graves of the children of the people. And he brake down the houses of the Sodomites that were by the house of the Lord, where the women wove hangings for the grove. And he brought all the priests out of the cities of Judah, and defiled the high places where the priests had burned incense, from Geba to Beersheba, and brake down the high places of the gate that were in the entering in of the gate of Joshua, the governor of the city, which were on the man's left hand at the gate of the city. Nevertheless, the priests of the high places came not up to the altar of the Lord in Jerusalem, but they did eat of the unleavened bread among their brethren. And he defiled Topheth, which is in the valley of the children of Hinnom, that no man might make his son or his daughter to pass through the fire of Molech. And he took away the horses that the kings of Judah had given to the sun, at the entering in of the house of the Lord, by the chamber of Nathan-Melech, the chamberlain, which was in the suburbs, and burned the chariots of the sun with fire, and the altars that were on the top of the upper chamber of Ahaz, which the kings of Judah had made, and the altars which Manasseh had made in the two courts of the house of the Lord, did the king beat down and break them down from thence, and cast the dust of them into the brook Kidron. And the high places that were before Jerusalem, which were on the right hand of the mount of corruption, which Solomon the king of Israel had builded for Ashtoreth, an abomination of the Zidonians, and for Chemosh, the abomination of the Moabites, and for Milcom, the abomination of the children of Ammon, did the king defile. And he brake in pieces the images, and cut down the groves, and filled their places with the bones of men. Moreover, the altar that was at Bethel, and the high place which Jeroboam the son of Nebat, who made Israel to sin, had made, both that altar and the high place he brake down, and burned the high place, and stamped it small to powder, and burned the grove. And as Josiah turned himself, he spied the sepulchres that were there in the mount, and sent and took the bones out of the sepulchres, and burned them upon the altar, and polluted it according to the word of the Lord which the man of God proclaimed. He proclaimed these words. And he said, What title is that I see? And the men of the city told him, It is the sepulchre of the man of God. which came from Judah, and proclaimed these things that thou hast done against the altar of Bethel. And he said, Let him alone, let no man move his bones. So they let his bones alone, and the bones of the prophet that came out of Samaria. And all the houses also of the high places that were in the cities of Samaria, which the kings of Israel had made to provoke the Lord to anger, Josiah took away, and did to them according to all the acts that he had done in Bethel. And he slew all the priests of the high places that were there upon the altars, and burned men's bones upon them, and returned to Jerusalem. And the king commanded all the people, saying, Keep the Passover unto the Lord your God, as it is written in the book of this covenant. Surely there was not holden such a Passover from the days of the judges that judged Israel, nor in all the days of the kings of Israel, nor the kings of Judah. But in the 18th year of King Josiah, wherein this Passover was holden to the Lord in Jerusalem. Moreover, the workers with familiar spirits, and the wizards, and the images, and the idols, and all the abominations that were spied in the land of Judah and in Jerusalem did Josiah put away, that he might perform the words of the law which were written in the book that Hilkiah the priest found in the house of the Lord. And like unto him was there no king before him that turned to the Lord with all his heart and with all his soul, with all his might, according to all the law of Moses. Neither after him arose there any like him. Notwithstanding, the Lord turned not from the fierceness of his great wrath, wherewith his anger was kindled against Judah, because of all the provocations that Manasseh had provoked him withal. And the Lord said, I will remove Judah also out of my sight, as I have removed Israel, and will cast off this city Jerusalem, which I have chosen, and the house of which I said, My name shall be there. Now the rest of the acts of Josiah, and all that he did, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the kings of Judah? In his days, Pharaoh Necho, king of Egypt, went up against the king of Assyria to the river Euphrates, and King Josiah went against him, and he slew him at Megiddo when he had seen him. And his servants carried him in a chariot dead from Megiddo, and brought him to Jerusalem, and buried him in his own sepulchre. And the people of the land took Jehoahaz, the son of Josiah, and anointed him, and made him king in his father's stead. Jehoahaz was 23 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 3 months in Jerusalem. And his mother's name was Hamutal, the daughter of Jeremiah of Libnah. And he did that which was evil in the sight of the Lord, according to all that his fathers had done. And Pharaoh Necho put him in bands at Riblah in the land of Hamath, that he might not reign in Jerusalem, and put the land to a tribute of 100 talents of silver and a talent of gold. And Pharaoh Necho made Eliakim the son of Josiah king in the room of Josiah his father, and turned his name to Jehoiakim, and took Jehoahaz away, and he came to Egypt and died there. And Jehoiakim gave the silver and the gold to Pharaoh, but he taxed the land to give the money according to the commandment of Pharaoh. He exacted the silver and the gold of the people of the land, of every one according to his taxation, to give it unto Pharaoh Necho. Jehoiakim was 25 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 11 years in Jerusalem. And his mother's name was Zebudah, the daughter of Pedaiah of Rumah. And he did that which was evil in the sight of the Lord, according to all that his fathers had done. I'm going to have to end it there, simply because, as I mentioned earlier in the stream, I have homework I am neglecting, but I wanted to get back into the habit of doing this to complete my goal. On these particular chapters, I think if there's anything to be taken that we could learn, it is that it's important to instill good morality in ourselves so that we can teach that to our children. You'll notice that generational things will continue, and it's very difficult to break out of those chains. All those kings were making terrible, evil decisions because of what their fathers had done for them. So food for thought. Have a wonderful day. And as always, thank you for joining me on this adventure. But now it's time for you to find your own. Bye.